As you can see, the various equipment left behind was from when they mined for limestone in the cave. When all the mining was abandoned, there were killings and devil worships that started to take place.
Right now, we are about a half mile deep into a place known as Devil's Cave. What's interesting about these cavern systems is they're an abandoned quarry, and during October 1969, there were 9 murders that took place in these rooms. There are a series of rooms back here, probably about 8 to 10, and these are where they took place. You see, what's interesting about these murders is the cases were never solved, but when they found the bodies, they were dismembered in such a way that it was believed to be cultic sacrifice. The murders are still unknown to this day. 10 years later, October of 1979, 3 murders took place in these caves, almost a decade after the first 9 took place. The case was reopened from 10 years ago, but no evidence was found of any murderers, and again, the bodies were dismembered in such a way believed to be cultic sacrifice. Yet another decade later, October of 1989, 2 more murders were taking place in these rooms. Once again, all cases were opened back up. There was no evidence pointing to anybody, no known suspects, nothing, just the dead bodies. Here we have something rather interesting. Before I show you this, if you look around, you will see that there are bones everywhere in the mud throughout here. Now, going back to what we've collected, here's what we found. These are the leg bones of multiple different mammals. Not sure what the species is, but they're all littered in the mud throughout these caves. Now, what's very interesting here is we have the hip bones of what appear to be birds. We also have skull of a bird. And now, what might prove that something very strange has been taking place in here is what's in the next room over. Note the bird hips and the skulls. In here, we have what appears to be the remains of chicken wire for chicken coops. Here's the most preserved one we found back in these caves. These were clearly doors that latched like so and opened where you could grab the animal and pull it out.
As modern governments continue to legislate against cruelty to animals, we'll find that it is the world's mainstream religious adherents who retreat to shady basements and hidden places to perform rituals to kill animals rather than Satanists or pagans, which is the reason behind all the chicken coops, animal bones in the cave.
And throughout these cave systems, there are multiple different paintings, very eerie graffiti that's written all over the walls, of symbolic messages all over the walls. I'll give you an example of that right here. We have Egyptian religious paintings, which the Egyptians, without knowing it, worshiped demons, which this might have something to do with demonic worship. Not to mention the mural of the Grim Reaper, which was painted here.
On the walls of the cave, there are drawings of the Grim Reaper, and that represents someone who cuts or harvests souls of the living lives and brings them down to the underworld as like a peace gathering for the devil.
Okay, so a little bit after we were coming a mile out of the cave, we decided to stop and where we could kind of see some little bit of light. But as we were just kind of like, just standing around talking and everything, all of a sudden this bird just comes like right in between us. And honestly, it scared the crap out of me. I don't know about you, but it scared everyone.
It scared everyone.
Yeah, it scared everybody. But now I'm afraid of the dark because now I think the bird's gonna come out. But as we were coming out of the cave, we decided that it was not me, but her and my friend decided that it was totally fine to get on some bulldozers and decided to play on them. No, the keys weren't in there. But as we were going towards the car, we heard some sirens, and I kind of thought, that's probably going to Milltown, it's probably going just right into town, we're fine. But as we were doing that, we ended up talking to some of the police officers and got some of their experiences, stories, like about people getting lost in there and stuff, so that was good. Didn't get in trouble. I was kind of worried about that. But
Yeah, so the next clip is probably going to be about the police officers and what happened then, and them telling their stories,
I mean, we were way back in there. Like, I'm talking like half mile deep into there, and eventually you get so far in there, they're actually like concrete rooms and stuff like that. And there's a whole bunch of like graffiti, and it's all subliminal. They put time into it, and it's pretty. Have you ever been back in there?
Many times looking for people.
Really?
Oh, really?
Some people go in there and they get lost.
I've been here a good 7 or 8 times, and I've kind of learned my way around the cave system.
That's what they said too.
Huh?
That's what they said too.
Really?
Yeah, they hugged me like a little girl because they were scared to death and their flashlight went dead.